we should be good to go.
Yeah, just need to turn
And Your Honor, if you could allow me to share the screen at some point too, that way I can share the PowerPoint.
And then I'm gonna start it with my hearing slot.
Yes, yes.
It's already on your screen, which is fine.
I think your slide was, the actual, yes, it's hooked up to. Okay, I can,
It's fine.
if I share my screen, I can show what is showing on the,
Mr. Wright, did you put these with the sign sheet?
They're on the side.
Great, thank
What, you need more?
Nope, no, just want to make sure they were. I wasn't watching. Sorry. That's
I got all these new devices. I believe they're stops.
Okay.
They may not be, so.
Okay. I think
If you hear something, I'll let them right.
we can go.
Yeah, you're.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing.
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh, thank you.
They don't know. It's cute. No, they just like stop. It is. That's more. The pros and the. Yeah. He's actually pretty well. That's right. So I don't know how far it's. Was that? I think all stuff when they go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Mr. Albert, as long as you're there, could you bring me the sign sheet, please?
Sure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who has these mentioned? Why didn't I think of that? I had 4 months to go to the conference. Where did you get these questions? So that they're always kind of kicking myself, like, we should have asked that. So I appreciate it. You do that, keep us on our toes. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Maryland Public Service Commission's public comment hearing in case number 9753, which is captioned Application of Econox Renewables, Inc. for Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity to construct a 2.04 megawatt solar photovoltaic generating facility in Somerset County, Maryland. My name is Kristen Lawrence. I'm a public utility law judge at the Public Service Commission. It's about 6:30 p.m. and we're here in the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Henson Center. On September 9th, 2024, pursuant to Maryland Public Utilities Article, Section 7-207, Econox Renewables, Inc. filed an application for a Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity, which is referred to as a CPCN, to construct a 2.04 megawatt alternating current, single-axis tracking solar photovoltaic community solar energy generating facility and associated interconnection facilities, which they're referring to as the Deal Island Solar Project, is located at 29715 through 29899 Deal Island Road, here in Princess Anne, in Somerset County. The project is anticipated to occupy approximately 11 acres of the site, which is a 60-acre property. The purpose of tonight's meeting is to take comments from members of the public on the project. The hearing will begin with a presentation about the project by Econox, followed by a presentation by the Department of Natural Resources Power Plant Research Program, otherwise known as PPRP, as to its recommendations with respect to the project. That will be followed by the technical staff of the Public Service Commission indicating their recommendations with regard to the project, if any. Then after that, we will take comments. In addition to taking comments this evening, written comments may also be submitted electronically or by first-class mail through May 30th. Comments submitted electronically should be submitted through the Commission's public comment drop box, which can be accessed through the Commission's website, which is psc.state.md.us. If comments are submitted by first-class mail, they should be addressed to Jamie Bergen, Chief Clerk, Maryland Public Service Commission, William Donald Schaefer Tower, 6 St. Paul Street, 16th floor, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202. All comments must include a reference to case number 9753 so they make it to the correct file. This is the second public comment hearing in this case. The evidentiary hearing is currently scheduled for June 25th at 1 p.m. and that will be held either in the 19th floor hearing room at the Public Service Commission's offices at 6 St. Paul Street, or it may be virtual if that format is requested and approved. So at this point, I'm going to turn the meeting over to counsel for Econox.
Good evening, Your Honor.
I made you a host.
Excellent. Good evening, Your Honor, and thank you everyone for joining us this public comment hearing. My name is Colleen Collins from Gordon Feinblatt. I'm representing the developer in this case, Econox Renewables. I'm joined by a representative from the developer, Mr. Steve Kerr, and a consultant from ARM Group, Mr. Charles Walker. I will set up the presentation now.
This is the Deal Island Solar Project. My name is Steve Kerr. I'm with Econox Renewables. We have hired ARM Group to do the engineering for the project. Charles Walker's with us tonight. And Gordon Feinblatt is our attorneys representing us in the CPCN process. Econox has been in business for around 15 years. And we've done a lot of projects in Rhode Island, starting with Rhode Island, and have expanded from there to Maryland and Delaware and Iowa, other states. We've successfully completed projects for public and private clients. This is the Deal Island project, as we've said. It is on a parcel, 57-acre parcel. Will take about 11 acres of that parcel to build the project. It's a 2.04 megawatt AC project, and the distribution utility, the local distribution utility, is Delmarva Power. This is a kind of overview of where the site is located in Somerset County, and it shows the neighbors in the area. This is the conceptual site plan showing the location of the array on the property. It's set back pretty far from the road. It doesn't align up with the access road, so that there shouldn't be any visuals from the road. We're leaving about a 50-foot buffer on the eastern side that we'll keep, the trees will remain there. So we'll have visual screening on all sides. 2.04 megawatt AC. That will produce about 4,400 megawatt hours a year. That's enough for about 400 houses. It's a single axis trackers. Their approximately maximum height is about 12.5 feet. There'll be a 7-foot perimeter fence with a lock gate and a 15-foot wide gravel access road from Deal Island running to the array. The system will be remotely monitored, so if any issues on the project, we'll know, and people will be dispatched to keep it performing and keep it maintained. So approximately 4 times a year, people will be on site maintaining the project. And as a CPCN project, the PSC governs the approval of CPCN, but we would still try to meet all the Somerset County zoning regulations applicable to this project.
Did you have anything else?
I'm just stopping sharing.
PPRP.
So it may be advantageous to leave the image up if that would be helpful, if that's okay. Simply then I can reference that. Good evening, Your Honor, and Princess Anne community. My name is Mark Mank. That's spelled M-A-R-K, M-A-N-K. I'm the Department of Natural Resources Power Plant Research Program, and as the utility law judge, that's short PPRP. I will reference that routinely, but that's what it stands for. And my job as project manager is to review the state's Deal Island Community Solar Project located on the Deal Island Road just outside of town. And as you can see, as you go outside of town, it's just on the left-hand side in the woods, maybe a half mile past the red light off of 13. This is what is called a community solar project, and if permitted, it will contribute to the state law requiring that by 2030, 50% of in-state electric generation come from renewable energy. And of that, 14.5% is theoretically coming from solar generation. As project manager, my program, PPRP, coordinated an independent review of the potential environmental and socioeconomic impacts of the Deal Island Solar Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity. That's the name of the application. We refer to that as a CPCN. So I'll reference CPCN throughout this discussion. At any rate, the DNR and 6 other reviewing state agencies that include the Department of the Environment, Agriculture, Transportation, Planning, Commerce, and the Energy Administration, we coordinate that review at DNR and make a recommendation. The state's review is now complete, and the secretaries of DNR and the Maryland Department of the Environment made a recommendation to the PSC that it approve the Deal Island Solar Project CPCN application, and with that recommendation, submitted recommended license considerations or recommended license conditions for their consideration. An evidentiary hearing is scheduled to be held for the CPCN, and I believe it may already been stated for June 16th, 2025, I believe. Within PPRP's review, we look at a number of factors that went into the secretarial recommendation letter approving the project's application for the CPCN. Some of those, and this is not an all-inclusive statement, but things that we consider are biological impacts. So how does it impact streams, natural resources, wildlife, waterways, things like that. the noise, how loud is the equipment, what does it do? And this is not just for solar, this is for all CPCN. So can you hear it? Different impacts that those in the community may experience as a function of that. The visual impacts, the landscaping buffer, screening, different things like that, the fencing, that's all evaluated. Another element are cultural resources. So if it was on a property with some historic elements, things like that, we coordinate with the Maryland Historic Trust. They review the information, make an independent determination, and tell the applicant as well as us, okay, what can we do so that we don't adversely impact these historic properties within the project's footprint. Other elements include public safety and transportation, road access, highway access, impacts to nearby airports, residences, things like that. There are also economic and fiscal impacts that are looked at, or potential impacts. PPRP reviews the proposed economic benefits of the project to the area and the host county, tax revenue, jobs created, things like that. And lastly, the last thing I'll speak to is greenhouse gas emissions. We examine how this project will reduce greenhouse gases over the life of the project. And as you can imagine, clean energy, the greenhouse gas emissions are none for something like this. But at any rate, PPRP filed its project assessment report, which includes these items I just spoke to, the recommended license conditions, and testimony on May 9th, 2025. PPRP's recommended license conditions contain several conditions that are designed to protect the environment, public health, and safety, and other matters required by law, and therefore the PSC's consideration as they review this case. These documents and associated exhibits for the Deal Island Solar Project are available on the PSC website under case 9753. And I will tell you, if you go to the PSC website, just search PSC. On the left-hand side, I will call it green, but it's not really green. There's a little box that says case search. You click on that, you can search any case, including this case, 9753. Also in the back of the room, I have a summary fact sheet of the Deal Island Solar Project. Grab one if you would like. If you want to go back, look later, you can go to the DNR's website. What I would recommend is use Google or a search engine, type in the Department of Natural Resources, Power Plant Research Program, projects under review. All the counties will come up, look for Somerset County, and within that, you'll see this particular project as well as many other projects scattered throughout the state. With that, I'll close. Thank you, Your Honor, and Princess Anne community.
Thank you. Commission staff.
Okay, if I stand sort of sideways, so I'm addressing the audience as well. Kenneth Albert, on behalf of Commission staff, we are analyzing this proposed project, and we'll be presenting testimony. And if it gets to that briefing on the project, that is whether the Commission should approve the project, and if so, what conditions should apply. Specifically, our expert engineers will be providing testimony on the PPRP does the impacts, environmental and on neighbors. The staff does the impact on the electric grid. A key engineering issue is when you're delivering electricity into the grid to make sure it's being done in a way that does not jeopardize the reliability of the grid. So there's several conditions that are routinely imposed that require investments by the project to ensure that the energy can be introduced in the grid without causing any problems for the reliability of that grid, which goes that grid serves a whole bunch of other customers. Feel free to contact me, filing written comments in particular by residents and interested parties. They are taken into account by the Commission, and feel free to contact me. I'm at kenneth.albert@maryland.gov. That's ALB as in boy, ERT as in Tom. Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, we're going to take comments. While comments are being made, the representatives that you just met from Econox and also from PPRP and staff, they're going to be taking notes, and to the extent they hear questions that they feel they can answer, after we finish taking comments, I'm going to give them the opportunity to do so. I, however, cannot answer questions about the project because this matter is under my consideration. So at this point, we have Mr. Drewer. And please spell your name first and last for the board, please.
Yes, my name is Jesse Drewer, Jessedrewer, and I am the Planning and Zoning Director for Somerset County. I'm here to speak in opposition to this project at the proposed site. The site is currently proposed is zoned R2 medium density residential and is in close proximity to the town of Princess Anne boundary and the priority funding area boundary. Aside from the site being fully wooded, the site has access to water and sewer services from the county sanitary district. And due to the property's wooded nature and access to services, the county does not view this site as ideal for solar development. In the Somerset County zoning code, utility scale projects are projects greater than 2 megawatts and are only considered for parcels designated as agricultural residential or general industrial I2 zoning. The requirement to be located in these zoning districts was reached after numerous community meetings and discussions among planning staff, planning commission, and members of our community. Locating a utility scale solar project in the R2 district is in direct disagreement with the current county requirements. Somerset County understands the desire of the state of Maryland to dramatically increase the renewable energy portfolio. However, this should not be done at the consequence of the county's right to determine local land use as we see fit. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, 2 other people signed in, but they checked that they did not want to speak, but have they changed their mind? No. Did anyone else? I didn't think anyone else came in and signed in. All right. We're going to go off the record and we will come back on at 7 o'clock to see if anyone else has joined us.
Jam, I usually like to use the
It's definitely good.
If you use the PJ, I'm curious if I don't use the same.
No, we calculated. It's not most of the PV watts.
Is that a formula?
Oh, you want something? Yes. Whatever. So that.
So
PV watts gives you the production.
okay, so they use their own capacity. I mean, on this side, and then you got about 25%.
Yeah, something like that. We calculate that based on that number and the 2.4.
Okay.
So the
Is that you? I mean, do you guys do it?
It should be different every place in the country. You get different solar units in different areas.
Right.
And this project has trackers, so the trackers will be a little bit higher.
But you don't do a lot of project specific.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do, I mean, in terms of capacity. So you actually like to treat, I mean.
No, we use PV watts to give us what the estimated production is.
Oh,
And then we use that, and we use the 2.4.
It's.
Sometimes I know.
Full confidence. I can.
Are you able to do it regarding the project? Very simple question. Literally, I said it just.
Is it video?
Yeah. Dress well for it.
Our client doesn't have a comment this time. Thank you very much.
Right. But that was like,
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Really easy. Especially sometimes. Yeah, well, it's always the best. Because the accountants, you know, my theory is no one ever says this. I think they are. Yeah. And they have 5 sons, or they just want to buy one. So more people who are good, you know, interested in start, and it just maybe outside farmers. Take the showcase residential, you know, so they have, so they realize it's competition drives the shit. Because we're always fast, these years it's
Especially the.
Yeah. And it is.
That's good to hear.
30 years. Yes, I think that was part. Yeah, we need a threshold for they don't have plans. It's all
We're gonna go back on the record. Mr. Albert, we're gonna go back on the record. I just want to clarify one item. The evidentiary hearing is scheduled for June 25th at 1 p.m. So we have that date correct.
Yeah, you said 16.
Yeah, so not the 16th.
Not the 16th. Actually, your information sheet has it correct. So it's about 7 p.m. I don't see that anyone else has joined us. Last call on anyone who would like to make comments. We're here to take comments. Okay? Otherwise, as we said, written comments can be filed through May 30th, electronically or by first-class mail. I appreciate everyone being here this evening. We're adjourned.